and welcome to XTV's news broadcast for Monday, June 30, 2025. Making the headlines tonight. Fatal police-involved stabbing leads to tension in Keycaulker. Torrential rains trigger widespread flooding in parts of northern Belize. NEMO addresses criticism it failed to advise the public. And PSU and APSSM vote to accept GOB's third counter-proposal. We take our first break and return with the news in detail.
Make light work lighter and quicker with switch technology from Axi Power Tools. Axi Switch technology breaks the bondage of power cords and grants you the luxury of freedom and precision. Switch one battery across all your Axi line power tools effortlessly, allowing for quick and efficient work. Cut the cords. Choose efficiency with Axi Switch technology. Only at Benny's. Quality and savings.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication, steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
Imagine getting rewards for your spending. Smart prepaid customers countrywide, it's time to level up with Smart Gains. Smart Gains are exclusive, limited time offers sent straight to your phone. We're talking irresistible rewards. You'll actually want extra credit, bonus data, and exclusive perks, all tailored to you. Because it's smart, we've always got your back. Don't miss out on rewards made just for you. Smart Gains, smart savings, smart you. Smart, bringing people together.
Whether the job is big or small, every super handy dad needs the right tools. And at Brothers Habet and Habet, we have what you need. Enjoy super savings all June like 15% off all power tools and hand tools, 25% off track car batteries, Eureka Vats, and Pisaforte towels, 25% off Penta Decon and discontinued colors, 30% off Valspar, and 40% off Dutch Boy paints. Plus, we're giving away $200 to 6 lucky super handy dads. Every $50 you spend gets you a chance to win. So this year, give Dad his best gift yet from Brothers Habet and Habet. Come in or reach out today. Happy Father's Day to all super handy dads.
In 2024, the Belizean diaspora took over Los Angeles with the first ever Belize Diaspora Summit, and you know the only thing that could be ever better than that is to do it again. Belize Diaspora Summit 2.0. This time it takes place in the state of Florida, Fort Lauderdale Board Convention Center, July 10th, the 11th, the 12th. Belizeans from the diaspora, Belizeans from home in Belize, join together. Let's do it again. 3 days, government services, clinics, business displays, kitty corner, pop-up trivias, panel discussions. There will be highlights for business mixers. There will be live performance. Racindio, Destiny Wagner is going to be there. There's going to be a live performance of Makobi. And you will have Immigration and Civil Rights Town Hall. Special guest Kenneth Gibson, interview and book reading. There will be a wind-up reception, rhythms and rum. It's happening, Belize Diaspora 2.0, Florida, Fort Lauderdale Board Convention Center. Don't miss it.
Welcome back with your news. I am Drea Espinosa. Things got tense on the island of Kekaukar early this morning after a police-involved incident turned fatal on Luciano Reyes Street. At this morning's police briefing, ASP Stacy Smith informed that the two officers in question, Darnique Swayze and Lionel Urbina, were off duty and were at a fast food stall when they intervened in an altercation that played out before them. The incident occurred at around 2:30 a.m. Fatally stabbed was Belizean-American 18-year-old Kevin DePaz. Smith went to great lengths today to emphasize that police-involved incidents are subject to heightened scrutiny. The incident prompted the Commissioner of Police, Richard Rosado, to head to the island.
So far, what police have learned is that 2 off-duty police officers were in front of a fast food establishment when they observed a golf cart with male occupants stopping at their location, and one of the male occupants is reported to have shoved an individual who was similarly at the fast food stand. It is reported that the officers intervened to this ongoing altercation and the male persons would have departed. It is reported and alleged that that golf cart with the male person along with other male persons returned to the location shortly thereafter, and an altercation ensued between the off-duty officers and the occupants of the golf cart. The altercation resulted in the fatal stabbing of 18-year-old Kevin DePaz, the injury to one of the police officers by way of a stab wound, and another injury to the other officer, as well as the injury of Canol, who is reported to be in a stable condition, and another male person, Nishan Allen, that was in the group, who is reported to be in a critical condition. The police's investigation into this matter continues. The Commissioner has emphasized the need for a thorough investigation to be conducted both by the Major Crimes Unit of the Police Department and the Professional Standards Branch. Commissioner Rosado has also reached out to the family of the victim in this incident and is heading out to San Pedro, to Kekaukar, in relation to this incident.
Go ahead, bro.
Did at any point in time the duty officers identify themselves to these civilians as police officers?
The investigation is still ongoing and I am not in a position to disclose that information.
Is it a murder?
The directives from the DPP will dictate whether it is a murder. It is still a very young investigation. The file will be compiled and sent to the office of the DPP, where determinations will be made as to what charges are to be levied under the circumstances.
From what is known at this point, who were the aggressors in the dispute?
As I would have stated, from what the police officer who had communicated briefly, is that there was an incident and they intervened, and during that course of the police intervening, the incident grew to the level that it did.
But the police officer or officers was or were armed with knives.
I do not have that information as yet. The investigation is still ongoing.
Who wielded the knife that fatally injured Kevin Lepez?
The information that has been disclosed so far is the extent to which police wishes to disclose. However, we can assure that a thorough investigation will be conducted and the information will be disclosed as it becomes necessary to disclose.
PC Swayze was reportedly stabbed to the leg by 25-year-old Nissan Allen. When PC Swayze retaliated and stabbed Allen, he was stabbed by DePaz, who was subsequently fatally wounded. Another individual involved in the confrontation was 18-year-old Julian Canole, who also had to be airlifted for treatment on the mainland. Our reports are that a large crowd gathered at the location and residents burned tires in the heat of the moment. Rains that started Wednesday continued Thursday and intensified Friday, disrupted daily life in many communities in the Orange Walk district by 5 Friday evening. Greatly impacted were the villages of Trinidad, San Jose, Trial Farm, San Pablo, San Esteban, and San Roman. Vehicles were almost swallowed up in some areas, and houses and businesses were flooded out to levels reminiscent of June 2022, when the waters rose about halfway up the building at Puma gas station at the entrance of Orange Walk town. Large portions of the Philip Golson Highway became impassable Friday evening into Saturday. The Ministry of Infrastructure, Development and Housing activated in response to the extreme flooding at mile 41-42, mile 52 at Tower Hill, and mile 62-63 in San Jose Village to assist with traffic management. Drivers were advised not to attempt to pass those areas as water depth was estimated to be as high as 20 inches over the road surface. A man lost his motorcycle that was washed away as he attempted to cross the strong currents on the highway. The National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, opened several shelters in some of the affected villages Friday night and provided food packs to shelterees. A total of 54 persons sought shelter, and by this morning, 28 had returned home. Upon request, the National Emergency Coordinator for NEMO, retired Captain Daniel Mendez, and the Chief Meteorologist Ronald Gordon granted the media an interview late this morning to discuss the weather conditions that led to the flooding. Here is Gordon.
We had inclement weather conditions towards the end of last week. It started off, I would say, around Wednesday when we had a tropical wave cross the country. And then that was followed by another tropical wave on Friday, which was more active. That system eventually moved across the country, and an area of low pressure formed on it just to the west of Belize. And it eventually moved west-northwestward into the Bay of Campeche, where it became Tropical Depression number 2, and eventually was upgraded to Tropical Storm Barry, which eventually made landfall over eastern Mexico over the weekend. Currently, that system has dissipated, and we are seeing an improvement in weather conditions. Actually, that started from around Saturday. So we had significant rainfall. I think the bulk of the rainfall was on Friday, and then again on Saturday, Friday night into Saturday morning. And by mid-morning on Saturday, conditions began to improve over most of the country. And that has been so for the rest of the weekend into today, Monday. The forecast going forward is calling for generally fair conditions to persist, at least for the next day or so. However, we do have a tropical wave approaching the country, and that one should be near us by tomorrow, and it will result in another increase in rainfall. However, based on current projections, we are not expecting as much rainfall from that system as we had from the last one due to unfavorable conditions or not as favorable conditions at the higher levels of the atmosphere.
In the Orange Walk district, between Wednesday and Saturday, 12 inches of rainfall was recorded at Tower Hill and 13 at Douglas. The majority was recorded on Friday and early Saturday morning in a very short time period. Overnight, as flood waters were flowing downstream, one resident in higher elevations said they had never experienced such flooding in over 3 decades and questioned if there had been any prior warning from emergency authorities. We asked Mendez about the criticism that they once again failed to notify the public early that flooding should have been expected. He responded that the usual flood forecasts and the weather reports were made available, but there was no advisory from NEMO itself before the flooding.
Again, the information had been put out from the National Hydrological Service. There had been a warning put out, a flood watch in those areas. There was information put out from the Met Service as well. And so there was information out there already. Perhaps if we can look at our strategy again to look at that component. But there was information in that regard. But as the Chief Met will let you know, it is very hard to forecast where these things will happen. And we are just we will continue to stress to people that there always is a likelihood. And so we will look at our strategy again and review it. As I keep saying, every event is a learning for us. And so we will continue to look at our processes to see how and where we can improve in that regard.
We note that the flood forecast, which was put out at 1 p.m. on Friday, featured flood alerts for low-lying areas across the country, including creeks, streams, and rivers, as well as a flood alert for urban and rural areas. When we highlighted that there should have been a warning from NEMO itself, Mendez said they will take it as a learning experience. The list of all affected families has still not been finalized. Meanwhile, out west, a culvert along the road to More Tomorrow Village gave way under the pressure from the rains and cut off the village. The Ministry of Infrastructure Development is assisting to fix the road. The National Trade Union Congress of Belize postponed its march and rally in Belize City due to the weather, and down south, the village council elections in Aguacate were postponed Sunday due to the flooding of the Aguacate Bridge. The elections will now be held on Sunday, July 6. On Sunday, the Public Service Union reported to its membership that 75.6% of members who voted accepted the government of Belize's third counter-proposal on a salary increase and frozen increments. The proposal was presented to the joint unions negotiating team last week, Thursday. It consists of the payment of the 8.5% salary increase in 2 tranches of 4.5% on October 1, 2025, and the other 4% on October 1, 2026. We are told that the Association of Public Service Senior Managers likewise voted by majority to accept the offer. The vote from the Belize National Teachers Union remains outstanding. Our reports are that they have not yet met their voter threshold due to teachers being out for summer vacation. Delmore Wagner, a 62-year-old fisherman from Toledo, is believed to have drowned as he reportedly went into the sea while allegedly intoxicated. Wagner and others were at a fishing camp on Mohoki, off the coast of northern Toledo. When Wagner failed to resurface, the men began searching for him. Hours later, Wagner's unresponsive body surfaced. According to ASP Stacy Smith, Wagner's body was observed with abrasions, and police are awaiting the results of a post-mortem to confirm his death.
On Friday, 27 June 2025, David Wade, Belizean fisherman, visited the Punta Gorda police station and reported that sometime after 5 p.m. earlier that day, he was at a fishing camp located at the end of Mohoki, along with Delmore Wagner, 62 years old, and other fishermen. Wagner, who was reportedly intoxicated, is reported to have went into the water and failed to resurface. Searches were conducted in the water, and some hours later, the unresponsive body of Wagner, which displayed some abrasions, was retrieved and subsequently transported to the Punta Gorda hospital, where it now awaits a post-mortem examination.
Is there any foul play suspected?
The autopsy, the post-mortem examination will determine that. However, there were indeed some abrasions observed to the body. However, it is not known how those were sustained at this point in time.
20-year-old Jeffrey Cal, a resident of San Isidro, Toledo, died due to injuries suffered in a traffic accident Friday evening. Sometime around 6:50 p.m., Cal was riding a motorcycle near mile 45 on the Thomas Vincent Ramos Highway when he collided with a pedestrian identified as 19-year-old Aaron Cal of nearby Bella Vista, Toledo. Both were traveling in the same direction towards Bella Vista. The teen sustained injuries that were not life-threatening, but Jeffrey Cal was pronounced dead on arrival for treatment at the Independence Polyclinic. Reports are that he had borrowed the motorcycle from his brother-in-law moments before the collision. Today, ASP Stacy Smith said Aaron Cal is believed to have been under the influence of alcohol.
On Friday, 27 June 2025 at approximately 6:50 p.m., police responded to reports of a traffic accident near mile 45 on the Thomas Vincent Ramos Highway in southern Belize. Upon arrival at the scene, officers observed 19-year-old Aaron Cal and 20-year-old Jeffrey Cal with varying degrees of injuries. Both male persons were rushed to the Independence Polyclinic for treatment. However, Jeffrey Cal of San Isidro Village succumbed from the injuries he sustained in the accident. Initial investigations revealed that Aaron Cal was walking near mile 45 on the Thomas Vincent Ramos Highway heading to Bella Vista when he was hit by a motorcycle being driven by Jeffrey Cal.
After the break, 2 men detained for attacking 2 police officers in Orange Walk. Stay with us.
Let's all be safe during the rainy season. Belize Electricity Limited reminds you that heavy rains can cause flooding in your neighborhood and on roads. Avoid driving or walking in flooded areas, which can have hidden dangers such as debris and fallen power lines. Belize Electricity Limited cares about your safety. Please stay safe.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
This 2025 Atlantic hurricane season, Your Belize City Council has taken early and decisive action to help mitigate the impacts of flooding. While our works and sanitation teams have long been preparing, this year we expanded our efforts through the SEMO Flood Mitigation Cleanup Campaign, allowing us to simultaneously target 6 flood-prone zones with enhanced coordination and additional manpower. This effort included clearing drains, removing debris, flushing critical points with vacuum trucks, and raising awareness on both sanitation and disaster preparedness in the Freetown Road, Queen Street, Dean Street, King Street, Berkeley Street, and Pound Yard areas.
Most of Belize City lies at or below sea level, which means that flooding is not always avoidable. But with the right planning and participation, its impact can be reduced.
While our efforts have prioritized these high-risk zones, we want to reassure residents that drainage works are also being carried out across other parts of the city as part of our ongoing maintenance plan.
We understand the risks that come with every hurricane season. That's why we've taken a proactive approach, investing in real underground work to keep our residents safe. This is more than a seasonal response. It's part of our broader flood mitigation and disaster readiness strategy. Because building a safe, resilient city is a year-round commitment.
Our approach is targeted. We have mapped high-risk areas and are clearing them systematically. This isn't just storm prep, it's essential city maintenance.
We've seen the damage that flooding can cause. We've seen that preparation matters. When both residents and council do their part, we make Belize City better prepared for whatever the season brings.
Beyond infrastructure, this is a call to civic responsibility. We're encouraging residents to work with us.
I know that the rainy season is about to come, and whenever it rains, this whole area, the water stop and stay here because the drain clog, and all the water need is a little part for it to run to find a way out. So I realize the people that don't take care right. I try to at least find a way for the water run out because they affect me tremendously.
Help keep drains clear, dispose of waste properly, and stay alert as we navigate the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season together.
Each and everyone aware that owns a property and have a property, we should maintain the drainage. We should maintain our yard, that's basic.
And I said, nothing wrong in maintaining the yard. We get up every day from grass there, I pick up, I keep my rake, I keep my stone there, What hard in that?
Mitigation starts at home. Every household should be ready. Know where your nearest shelter is. Help to keep the drains around your property clear. Prepare an emergency kit. And make sure your family knows what to do. These simple steps can help reduce the risk during any weather events this season.
Remember, stay current with information being shared by our SEMO unit, NEMO, and the Belize Meteorological Service.
Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
that
This is everything.
Sea una persona ocupada o atrapada en el tráfico, o que tenga una circunstancia adversa o muy exigente, la tensión se acumula y lo estresa. El estrés ataca a todos en cualquier momento, a cualquier edad. El estrés es un asesino. Es mejor estar vivo que muerto, así que visite la farmacia de Freetown para obtener opciones.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué puedo hacer para usted hoy?
Estoy bien estresado.
Ok, tengo una pastilla que te va a ayudar, ¿ok? Que toma una de eso al día para 10 días y va a estar bien después, ¿sabes?
Ok. Farmacia Freetown, carretera 28 Freetown, donde estás mejor vivo que muerto. Farmacia Freetown, teléfono 22 32 87 6.
In 2024, the Belizean diaspora took over Los Angeles with the first ever Belize Diaspora Summit, and you know the only thing that could be ever better than that is to do it again. Belize Diaspora Summit 2.0. This time it takes place in the state of Florida, Fort Lauderdale Board Convention Center, July 10th, the 11th, the 12th. Belizeans from the diaspora, Belizeans from home in Belize, join together. Let's do it again. 3 days, government services, clinics, business displays, kitty corner, pop-up trivias, panel discussions. There will be highlights for business mixers. There will be a live performance of Racindo. Destiny Wagner is going to be there. There's going to be a live performance of Makobi. And you will have Immigration and Civil Rights Town Hall. Special guest Kenneth Gibson, interview and book reading. There will be a wind-up reception, rhythms and rum. It's happening, Police Dashboard 2.0, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Board Convention Center. Don't miss it.
2 men have been detained following an incident at an Orange Walk nightclub where 2 police officers were attacked. PC David Banner and PC Randy Koi were providing security at the establishment, which had just closed. A group of men tried to enter but were denied entry by the officers. The men then attacked the officers, beating and stabbing them. ASP Stacy Smith said police will review the security cameras at the establishment.
Police have detained 2 male persons in connection with the stabbing of Police Constable David Banner, who was providing security at a nightclub in Orange Walk. Initial investigations revealed that approximately 3:25 a.m., PC Banner along with another officer were conducting security at the business establishment when a group of male persons sought to gain entry. They were denied as the establishment had already closed. However, the group of male persons is reported to have attacked the officers, which resulted in the injury to the police constable David Banner.
So now, I understand that the constable got beat up pretty bad.
Yes, 2 officers in that incident were injured. 1 received a lesser degree of injury, and the other indeed was stabbed to the abdomen and received several wounds or blows to other part of the body.
A man has been detained by police after breaking into a South Side Belize City home with the intent to rape an 11-year-old female minor. The incident took place around 4 Saturday morning. The mother heard noises and went to check and noticed the man in her home. He attacked both the mother and her husband, leaving them unconscious. A male relative on the lower flat heard the noise and chased off the man before he could attack the child. According to reports, the man had already exposed himself to the minor. ASP Stacy Smith shared more details.
This male person is alleged to have entered a residence located on the south side of Belize City with the apparent intention to rape an 11-year-old female minor therein. One of the occupants stated that she was awakened by a commotion and upon inquiring, she saw a male person in her residence who proceeded to assault her and her husband, rendering them both unconscious. A male relative who resides at the lower flat of that residence was too alerted by the commotion and intervened, causing the male person to run off. The suspect has been detained. He is currently in police's possession and police's custody, and the suspect is one that is known to police for incidents of this nature. As a matter of fact, as recent as last year, he was convicted in the Magistrate Court number 1 by Prosecutor Sergeant Smith and was sentenced to 11 months in prison. I have been advised that he was released in May of this year. So the person in detention is expected to be charged later today.
All right, and so, but the charges will be burglary, and obviously assault or aggravated assault and repeat assault on the residents of the home. But will there be a charge for the involvement with the child?
Certainly, if the facts discloses elements of an offense, the charges will be preferred in that nature.
Also here in Belize City, police are investigating a reported shooting near the Swing Bridge. The incident occurred on Saturday around 4 p.m. According to police, a male occupant on a boat which was traveling up the Hollover Creek towards the Bell China Bridge pulled out a firearm as it was passing the Swing Bridge and fired shots at a man who was standing near the bridge foot on the North Front Street side. No injuries were reported and a gunman escaped in the boat. ASP Stacy Smith said police are seeking one individual for questioning.
Approximately 4 o'clock p.m. on Saturday, 28 June 2025.
The Belize Federation of Fishers, BFF, sounded the alarm Sunday night ahead of the opening of the lobster season at 12:01 this morning that fishers who traditionally fish off a water key were threatened over the weekend by another group of fishers who don't fish there. The BFF says the fishers sought the assistance of the Coast Guard and they were escorted to Belize City without further escalation. The BFF warns that the piracy at sea is becoming more frequent and more severe, with aggressors stealing harvested products and fishing supplies and equipment. However, the BFF also says the clashes are the result of new entrants into the fishing industry seeking territory to accommodate their fishing operations. The BFF is calling on the Ministry of the Blue Economy to constructively address overfishing and enforcement. The matter was reported to the police.
On Sunday, 28 June 2025 at approximately 11:30 a.m., Paul Hernandez, a 49-year-old fisherman, reported to police that on Friday, 27 June at approximately 1 o'clock p.m., he was departing his fishing camp located at Water Key when he observed some male persons who are known to him to be in the practice of intimidating fishermen circling the area where he would have left his trap. Mr. Hernandez stated that he returned to the location where his traps were laid. However, one of the male person who was on board the vessel brandished a firearm in his direction, causing him to fear his life. Police are currently seeking 2 male persons in connection with this report.
After the break, Stan Creek Beauty chosen to represent Belize at Miss Universe. Stay tuned.
Imagine getting rewards for your spending.
smart prepaid customers countrywide, it's time to level up with Smart Gains. Smart Gains are exclusive, limited time offers sent straight to your phone. We're talking irresistible rewards you'll actually want: extra credit, bonus data, and exclusive perks, all tailored to you. Because it's smart, we've always got your back. Don't miss out on rewards made just for you. Smart Gains, smart savings, smart you. Smart, bringing people together.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication, steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
Make light work lighter and quicker with switch technology from Axi Power Tools. Axi Switch technology breaks the bondage of power cords and grants you the luxury of freedom and precision. Switch one battery across all your Axi line power tools effortlessly, allowing for quick and efficient work. Cut the cords. Choose efficiency with Axi Switch technology. Only at Benny's. Quality and savings.
In 2024, the Belizean diaspora took over Los Angeles with the first ever Belize Diaspora Summit, and you know the only thing that could be ever better than that is to do it again. Belize Diaspora Summit 2.0. This time it takes place in the state of Florida, Fort Lauderdale Port Convention Center, July 10th, the 11th, the 12th. Belizeans from the diaspora, Belizeans from home in Belize, join together. Let's do it again. 3 days, government services, clinics, business displays, kitty corner, public trivias, panel discussions. There will be highlights for business mixers. There will be live performance. Vasindio, Destiny Wadney is going to be there. There's going to be a live performance of Makobi. And you will have Immigration and Civil Rights Town Hall. Special guest Kenneth Gibson, interview and book reading. There will be a wind-up reception, rhythms and rum. It's happening, Police Dashboard 2.0, Florida, Fort Lauderdale Port Convention Center. Don't miss it.
The written clarification of High Court Justice Tawanda Honduras' May 7th judgment, sought by Tracy Panton on May 22nd, has now been released. The clarification was sought given the application of the decision by Moses Shine Barrow and others that though the party's constitution was not followed in expelling Panton, she was still deemed expelled. This is despite the judge having ruled that the decision to expel Panton was, quote, unlawful, that is, the decision was void and of no effect, end quote. In a 6-page order dated June 26, Honduras notes that the clarification will remove any lingering ambiguity and proceeded to amend the May 7 judgment to state clearly that the unlawful expulsion was invalid and that it is, therefore, void and of no effect. We note that both Michael Perfit and Hugo Pat no longer appear on the claimants list, alongside Barrow, Shari Medina, and Alberto August. Saturday night inside the Belize City Civic Center was a night filled with glamour, glitz, fashion, beauty, and of course a stressful question and answer segment. The Miss Universe Belize Foundation delivered on their promise of a high-class, high-entertainment event, and at the end of the night, 21-year-old Isabella Zabanet of Independence Stand Creek walked away with the Black Orchid crown. Zabanet will represent Belize at Miss Universe, scheduled to be held in Bangkok, Thailand on November 21. She is one of 36 contestants already selected, with over 100 expected to compete. Monisha Hyde of Belmopan was named first runner-up, with Hope Panton of Belize City being named second runner-up. Panton was also named Miss Photogenic, while Imani Jex of Lucky Strike Village was named Miss Congeniality, an award voted on by the delegates. Zabanet has a history of participating in beauty pageants and has said it has been a childhood dream to represent Belize on the Miss Universe stage. Zabanet stands at 5 feet 10 inches, and her advocacy centers on empowering young women. Zabanet joins 2 other beauty ambassadors who will be representing Belize at international pageants in the upcoming months. Belize will be represented at the Miss Earth 2025 pageant later this year by 25-year-old Paris Kawich of Belmopan. The ILS Phoenix Foundation earlier this month crowned 24-year-old Faith Edgar of San Pedro to represent Belize at Miss World 2026. In other news, the CEO of the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital Authority, Chandra Nisbet Cancino, has explained that the 4% commitment for an ex gratia payment in place of pension for the time when there was no provident fund at the hospital is equivalent to what exists under the fund. The Minister of Labor, Honorable Florencio Marin Jr., says they are reviewing what options they have to intervene now that the hospital's management has reported the existence of trade dispute.
Perhaps we can tell them continue the dialogue. That's the first option, continue dialoguing, and hopefully they can come to a solution. If not, then myself as the minister, with the backup of the ministry, we conduct the mediation. And again, if that does not work, well then from there again, we go to a tribunal.
How closely are you guys observing the actions that the staff at the KHMH have been taking most recent as sick out in this whole dispute?
We're monitoring it and all that, but I don't want to comment because then remember, we may be in the mediation, so I don't want to prejudice that at this point in time. But yes, we are monitoring both sides on it, no?
But how do you look at the notice, I think, or maybe advice from the Labor Department that there were processes to be followed, and now you have the accusation from the management of the KHMH saying that they violated the law because they did initiate industrial action?
Again, that is something that when we formally get involved in it, when we look at it, then I will be able to comment on that right now. No, I don't want to just start be prejudiced to give an opinion on it right now. We'll be responding soon.
The Ministry of Transportation is working on the National Bus Company plan for our major highways. We asked new Transport Minister Dr. Louis Zabane if they are also addressing problem areas in the rural areas as well. In particular, commuters have long complained about persistent issues in the Ladyville to Belize City route.
Yes, well, our CEO is working on a lot of the issues that are occurring, if you call it, in different hotspots. So that we know that the Ladyville Belize City route is a area that needs a lot more improvement in terms of the quality of the buses and the scheduling, etc. So that's one area. The Orange Walk area is another hotspot that we are working with them as well to try to rationalize some of these things, because while we're working on the national bus company, there are certain things that we have to address in the meantime, and we're working on those as well.
And police have detained one man for questioning in relation to a brazen daylight robbery in downtown Orange Walk on Friday afternoon. The incident occurred on Arthur Street around 1:30 p.m. According to police, employees of AAA Imports were traveling in a pickup when they were blocked by an SUV. Two men exited the SUV and robbed the employees of an undisclosed amount of money and escaped. During the commotion, a separate vehicle hastily reversed and crashed into Orange Walk Mayor Ladrick Shepard's SUV. ASP Stacy Smith provided more details.
Police are investigating a robbery that occurred at approximately 1:30 p.m. on Friday, 27 June 2025 on Arthur Street in Orange Walk Town. Initial investigation revealed that on the aforementioned date and time, employees of AAA Imports were traveling on board a vehicle on Arthur Street when an SUV blocked their path and two male persons, one armed with a firearm and the other with a hammer, exited the vehicle and proceeded to rob the employees of an undisclosed amount of money belonging to AAA Imports. The male persons thereafter returned to the SUV and made good their escape. Police have detained one person in connection with this ongoing investigation.
Okay, is it an inside job?
There is no indication at this moment that can conclusively say so. However, how the incident unfolded, inference can be made in that regard. However, it is not conclusive at this point.
And with that, we've come to the end of our newscast. The repeat can be viewed on the station later tonight at 9 and again tomorrow at midday. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of the news. And remember, you can always catch up with the day's top stories on our YouTube channel and Facebook page under XTV Belize. And you can watch the evening news live on our XTV BH and I app. I am Drea Espinosa. Have a safe and enjoyable evening.